If you had to start a channel today, $0, what would you do?
I'd start a channel today with no money. What would I do? Do I have money?
No.
So I'm just homeless? What would I do? Do I have money?
No.
So I'm just homeless?
Very small bank account. You're making $42,000 a year.
And I can't spare $1? I'm kidding.
According to this plan.
I don't know. I mean, at that point, if you $1? I'm kidding.
Very small bank account. You're making $42,000 a year.
I don't know. I mean, at that point, if you really can't spend money, then it's probably something endurance based. So I'm thinking like, has anyone ever live streamed themselves for like a year, just like a year straight?
I don't think so.
Yeah, something like that.
It's time for another episode of the Make It Real Fallout Power Armor. And this time we're working on the most intricate design of the entire suit, the hands. Now, you might have noticed the lack of updates recently, but rest assured, we've been hard at work, optimizing the power pack, upgrading the heads-up display helmet, and even testing the armor samples for the bulletproof episode. Which means I haven't really had much time to work on the hands. But luckily, I know a guy.
Bogdan has handed me the most complicated part of all of Power Armor. And we're going to be capturing it all on the Insta360 X5. We're talking 8K, 360-degree video, and amazing low-light performance. So whether it's welding sparks, midnight design tweaks, or me panicking when a finger doesn't work, we're going to capture all of it. And we're going to be using Instaframe, so we get a ready to... I don't even know how many degrees of freedom. It's all powered by tendons running down into your forearm to a whole slew of muscles. That is too difficult. So here's what we're going to be doing instead. This is a Power Armor hand. Still has 5 fingers, but each one only has 2 degrees of freedom. One joint and another joint. And actually, I think we can make this even simpler. If we link both of these joints together, have them curl the exact same angle as one another, then I think we can get that entire motion out of a single actuator per finger. So that's what we're gonna do. The primary question with any mechanical design like this is, what's actually delivering mechanical power into the system? What's our prime mover? Now, what we're building is an animatronic hand, where normally sensitivity and precision would be paramount. So I'm inclined to use an electric servo motor to control the fingers. But this is Power Armor. We want power. And we already have a supply of compressed air. So I'm gonna use pneumatic cylinders to control the fingers, a decision that I surely will not regret later. So our air cylinders are gonna play the part of the muscles in our hand. But what about tendons? Well, tendons are biological rope, so we're gonna use synthetic rope. This modern synthetic rope should be strong and stiff enough that we can get all of the force from our cylinders into the hand without anything stretching or tearing. We can even do this. The Insta360 X5 features improved hand. Well, for that, we're gonna use good old lightweight aluminum. We're gonna use good old heavy-duty stainless steel. So here's the general plan. And here is the way more specific plan. And here is the prototype that I whipped up. As you can see, we have our air cylinder connecting to this block. This block has 2 ropes attached to it. One to extend the finger, and one to retract the finger. There's also a 3rd rope in here. And what that's doing is it's forcing these 2 joints to be held at the same angle throughout their entire travel. This is all a little difficult to see in here, though. So let's take a look at the mega finger. It's the exact same mechanism, just scaled up 300%. As you can see, we still have our air cylinder, and it still has a block screwed onto the end. We pull down on this, and it pulls on this rope. This is our 1st rope. That rope goes up through here, around to this pulley, which is actually just the head of a screw, but on a small scale, it's a pulley. Wraps back around and ties off to this plate. So that means that as you pull down on this, you're generating a torque on our first little piece of the finger here. Then, The third rope starts here and goes here. It comes out through the plate, around the first knuckle, along this piece, around the second knuckle, and through here. And what that's actually doing is forcing these two joints to be held at the same angle. So as you can see from the side here, as we extend it, two joints always stay at the same angle. Then we have the extension rope. This rope, it goes under the block, down here, around this other tiny little pulley, which is, again, just a screw, let's pretend. Back forward, through our plate, around this pulley, through this block, around this knuckle, and it's tied off to this pin. What that's gonna do is, when this pushes forward, it pulls on that rope and creates a torque on each knuckle that straightens the finger out. So all that's left to do, of course, is to make it real.
Am I famous now? Hi, Mom!
This one. Put this whole thing on its head. Nailed it. Also, it's waterproof, like 15 meters deep waterproof. No dive housing needed. Let that sink in. We just about got all of our parts ready. Tyler's welded up the frames for the fingers. I've modified our air cylinders, and the parts that we ordered have arrived by now. So let's assemble one finger just to see if this actually will, work. Look at that cute little thing. That there. All right, it's done. Let's go test it out. We got our finger, we got some shop air. Jesus! So, just give that a little bit of... Oh! We got problems. We gotta figure out what just happened. We got some rope problems. You see, our screw clamps keep slipping on the rope, which isn't great, and our stopper knots are stretching, slipping, or just breaking altogether, which is making our finger look a little sad. So I need a better way to secure these ropes. I went and did some serious reading and hardcore research on different kinds of knots, and tested all of them to find what would work best. I found one that holds, the E-Star stopper knot. Yeah! So, the new knots fix one of our problems, but we still need to figure out the other half. That is to say, why our ropes keep slipping out from under the screws. I had this problem in our 3D printed prototype, and I really thought it would go away once we had stainless steel and could really clamp down on the ropes. But turns out, no. So I did some digging, and I found this technique used in mining elevator cables called a taper wedge lock. It works great. You wrap your rope around a sunflower seed-shaped thing, shove it into a matching tapered hole, and you can pull on this with an unreasonable amount of force. So I decided to scale that down and test it out. And it turns out, it works friggin' great. Okay. Yeah, I think it's strong enough. There's just one wrinkle. Our parts are already... There's just one wrinkle. Our parts are already here. And we don't have the time to wait for these to get remanufactured overseas, and we can't manufacture them in-house. That and the geometry we need is just horrible to make on a CNC mill. So we're gonna 3D print them.
Oh, shit.
Specifically, I 3D printed them out of PPA-CF, an exotic nylon carbon fiber filament that is wildly strong, huge pain to print, and should get us all the performance we've actually needed out of the stainless steel. So, we've now got all of our parts ready to rock, and it's time for some serious fingering. I knew I'd get them. So now, We have all 4 fingers attached to the hand. So we just have to hook them up to the air cylinders. Perfect. Rightio. Let's do the next one. So these ropes, as you may recall, are coming under both these joints, so they need to go around the pulley at the back and then up the block. So now, pull on this rope, finger do that, and we pull on this rope, and it does that. Look at that. Ha-ha! So let's install our little grabby boys, our air cylinders, and then it's party time. So that rope's pulled all the way through. Now we drop one of our wedges in here. We pull all the rope out of the backside. Now, as you can clearly see, we pull back on the cylinder, and the finger curls in, and when it's here, it's well defined, and it's got tight feedback on the cylinder, and everything's happy. And now we just repeat that 25-minute process 2.5 more times. And with that, we have all 4 of our fingers assembled. We're gonna throw on some little finger pads to, give it some grip, and some little cover plates to make it look a little less crunchy. Which one? Okay. And with that, all 4 of these fingers are ready. They all move. They're all pretty smooth. Cylinders are backdrafting. We just need some air, some valves, and some electronics to actually control them. And for that, we're handing it off to Sarah.
I'm in danger.
While I've been assembling the fingers, Sarah here has been figuring out how to actually control them. How are we doing that?
Yeah, so to control the fingers, we have this custom designed PCB, which is designed to fit inside the grip of the hands. And you can see we have 5 different buttons for each of the fingers, and underneath each of those buttons is a little FSR, or a force-sensitive resistor. An FSR is basically a variable resistor where if you apply more pressure to it, the internal resistance will decrease. And we can use that relationship to decode in software how hard the user is pushing and use that to control or actuate the position of the fingers.
So how this all winds up working is that we have the readout from the 5 sensors that could be installed on this circuit board. And when you squish down on it, you can see our line moves, and when it crosses a certain threshold, the valve fires. So with all this, we should be able to control all 5 of the fingers from this one valve bank and this one itty-bitty little circuit board stuffed inside of this handle.
Let's do it.
How do we get that in there?
A lot of pain and suffering. So the orange tabs are designed to hold the FSRs in place so that they don't move around when you push on them. This metal piece that's going around the board has a lot of Kapton tape around the edges so that we don't accidentally short anything. Boom, bada bing. That's a hand.
I didn't assemble it, right? None of these are working. Okay, it's not quite as sensitive as we need it to be. We still need to do all the plumbing. All right, let's bring it over to the shop and give it a go. This is a safety glasses occasion.
Visit hacksmith.store for awesome safety glasses. I don't think I should be standing here. Whoa!
Okay, moment of truth here. Are we rolling? All right, again, give it some air.
I hear air leaking.
Yeah, it's because somebody only finger tightened the gas fittings.
Classic somebody.
Everything's leaking. We might need to actually tighten some of these fittings. It's alive.
Yay!
Now it moves. You want to go grab a 6mm or 1/4" wrench? Moment of truth, round 2. Okay, so we have a bit of a leak. Not entirely sure why, but the electronics are correctly driving the valve, so that's good. See, the fingers work. They work great. here's a thought. Bogdan said very confidently that these 6mm ports are the inlet. Have we actually checked the manual? What if that's the inlet?
To the data sheet.
Yeah, you want to go try and track that down? Because I have a slightly different way of finding out, which is ask Mike. So by the power of reading the manual, Mike has found that we made a critical mistake in setting up this valve. I had plugged this port here. Mike, why don't you tell the folks at home what that port was actually for?
Well, that's the exhaust, Charles.
Yeah.
Exhaust.
So we went and shoved a potato in the exhaust and were surprised when the system didn't work.
Well, hey,
Let's try it again.
good luck this time, okay?
Hey! Hey!
There you go. We need some more woo pounds.
Yeah, let's see.
Just be able to grab a hold of a thing. Give her the whole.
Hey!
There it is.
Whoop!
Wow.
Yes! Step number 1 is to fix all those leaks. Because those aren't good. But now we need to actually mount these fingers, to the power armor in an order that looks like a hand, which is a lot of work. There's a lot of parts to be made, but oh, this is gonna be so cool once it's all together. Let's do it. We've got all the parts ready to rock, so it's finally time to assemble the hand. Oh God, this has been a very long time coming. I was looking back on my phone the other day, and there are design sketches from January 29th. It is now April. It's been kind of amazing to see this whole thing come together. What I'm doing here is I'm attaching the frame that attaches to the power armor wrist onto the frame that is actually going to hold all of our fingies. This mounts to the inside of the bearing. So all this is in place, and next we need to install the fingers. First things first, we've got to deal with this extra rope. Like, we need a little bit of excess, but it doesn't need to be that much. Mini Saber, V2, hacksmith.store now with a flame changer. This goes in like that, and then we secure it from the sides here. That's those 4 fingers in. Now the thumb lies across the top like this. And with that, we have the general idea of a hand coming together. We have all the hoses run to the fingers. All 5 of our fingers are reasonably tight. The rest of the electronics are with Sarah back in the lab. She's got things that plug into this that we need to pack into here somehow. Sarah, how are the electronics going?
They're going.
All right, all right. It's kind of funny how it's always the small, minor changes that stack up and lead to you being at the shop at 7 p.m. trying to check if your prototype works, but we have a prototype, and it might even work. Power on. There we go. These are really slow. We need to adjust those flow controls. Yeah! Now just imagine how handy this could be. Thumbs up. All right, so this needs to live right about there. That's a good thing this arm isn't expensive or anything. This would be a rather perilous setup. That was quite the night. It's good that this thing can still get good footage when the sun's gone down. I'm going to bed. We shot everything we need for the build. Now, I just need to upload all the footage to the cloud for our editors. Their app has seen just as much improvement as their cameras. The new album layout highlights people and subjects, so it's quick and easy to find your footage. But for now, you do just kind of need to clamber in there, don't you?
Pretty much, yeah. All right, so the system should be ready for a first test. The goal right now is just to figure out what these hands are capable of. This is the first time we have the full hand assembled, and we're gonna see how much strength it has, what it can crush, where the failure points are, and make sure it's easy to control. Because at the end of the day, we want it to be intuitive. So we're gonna see how intuitive is a giant mech hand.
All right, so we got our hand turning.
You can see my hands right here, so if you look, thumb, there's me activating thumb, index or pointer finger, middle finger. I can try to, but the problem is I can barely reach those sensors as it is with my pinky, even if I clamp all the way down.
So ergonomics could perhaps use
just those 2 bottom.
bit of adjustment.
The first 3 are like perfect. Ready?
I'm ready. Maybe hold it down with, oh.
Oh yeah.
Hey! It hands! High five! Wait, no.
Can I put it back down is the question. Oh yeah, look at that. One more time.
All right.
Up, over, and grip. And up. Oh yeah, easy. This is as close as I can come to clapping.
We got Mr. T-Rex over here.
Charles was worried about how heavy these things are gonna be. Look at me lifting these all day.
No. Oh.
This is really weird. Look at this. Obviously, this is the only important motion when I'm super powerful.
Well, it's holding it.
I can either press my ring finger. I can pick it up. I don't think I can take a drink from it though. I can try to smash it. Ah, yeah!
Oh no, I need to clean that now. Okay, you got it.
Heck yeah! We got orange!
Can I get an autograph? It's
Yeah.
really you. It's really you. Can I?
Yeah,
Come on. All right. There you go. Can I? Oh, no.
Sorry, just one more
Hey,
time, one more
man,
time.
I'm nervous too. Here, man. You want to get? Yeah, there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it? All right.
Yeah.
Here, give me your best autograph. Come on. Let's go. That's exactly how he signs his name. Come on, Bogdan. Yes. Oh my God!
There you
I
go.
got it.
All right, let me see if I can pick up the camera. Let me see. Is this the new camera rig? Daryl, you think you're gonna be replaced by Power Armor?
Oh.
So this is how the vloggers do it, Daryl. Let me see if I can selfie it. All right, let me see if I can do stump too.
Yep.
Oh yeah, easy.
So what's cool with the Insta360 X5 is the lenses that are waterproof and hold everything are actually replaceable in the unlikely event that you do something that breaks them.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this is the new vlogger style. Look at this. I don't need you guys anymore. I am my own cameraman.
Oh!
Cameraman.
Oh!
Is it broken? Put it on that thing.
We have hammer
And
and
let me
hoe.
just whack it. What the heck?
Oh no!
Oh crap!
Who could possibly have foreseen this?
Damn, that is really messed up.
The good news is, Insta360 now comes with a lens replacement kit. Okay, so we've gotten all the debris off. Next up, we need to get our replacement lens. 2 turns. And we're back. It's time for the Power Armor Pass the Bar exam.
Yeah. Watch your toes. Watch out. All right, ready?
Okay.
And curl. We're good. The suit can obviously pick this nut.
As you were saying, I'll be honest, guys, I was really thinking we'd get a bit more grip out of these guys.
Yeah, 'cause we do have 150 pounds of force at the cylinder.
Yeah, and then
Which
we
is
have
quite a bit. That's how much I can grip with my entire hand.
Yeah, and we have 2x mechanical advantage on that first knuckle. So we should have 300 pounds times half an inch of radius, 150 inch-pounds on each knuckle, and about a 1-inch lever arm that you're actually pushing against. So it should be 150 pounds on each knuckle. Unfortunately, by the time we get to that, 150 pounds of force and things happening and dynamic loading, we just start seeing a lot of stretch and give and slip in the ropes.
Because, Dyneema or UHMW PE is great for strength, but it's very slippery and it's hard to hold in place under tension. But overall, the control there is there. I'm able to control each finger individually. The valve and the pressure system work. So I think this is a really good start. Yeah, so we've been working on making a lot of upgrades to the Power Armor. Coming up, we've got some bulletproof armor sample testing, so make sure you stick along.
And thanks again to the sponsor of this.
If you had to start a channel today, $0, what would you do?
I'd start a channel today with no money. What would I do? Do I have money?
No.
So I'm just homeless?
Very small bank account. You're making $42,000 a year.
I don't know. I mean, at that point, if you really can't spend money, then it's probably something endurance-based. So I'm thinking like, has anyone ever live?
This episode, Insta360's new X5 action camera. If you want to learn more, you can check them out.
What would you do?
I'd start a channel today with no money. What would I do? Do I have money?
No.
So I'm just homeless?
Very small bank account. You're making $42,000 a year.
I don't know. I mean, at that point, if you really can't spend money, then it's probably something endurance based. So I'm thinking like, has anyone ever live streamed themselves for like a year? Just like a year straight?
I don't think so.
Yeah, something like that.
You do.
I started a channel today with no money. What would I do? Do I have money?
No.
So I'm just homeless?
Very small bank account. You're making $42,000 a year.
I don't know. I mean, at that point, if you really can't spend money, then it's probably something endurance based. So I'm thinking like, has anyone ever live streamed themselves for like a year? Just like a year straight?
You do.
I started a channel today with no money. What would I do? Do I have money?
No.
So I'm just homeless?
Very small bank account. You're making $42,000 a year.
I don't know. I mean, at that point, if you really can't spend money, then it's probably something endurance based. So I'm thinking like, has anyone ever live streamed themselves for like a year? Just like a year straight?